Speaking of failures of our Department of State, what do you need to know about Evan Gershkovich's conviction for espionage in Russia? The Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich was sentenced to 16 years in prison on a totally bogus spying charge that follows the usual Russian kangaroo court proceedings. The WSJ and the American government have consistently maintained that this gentleman is not a spy in any way. By the way, he does speak Russian. He was born in the USA, but both of his parents fled from the USSR at an earlier point. So he may have been targeted for that reason, since, as I think everybody knows by now, Putin is trying to reconstruct the USSR, despite the fact that it failed in classic fashion. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby said Wednesday, Russia has failed to justify Evans' continued detention. He, like fellow American Paul Whelan, is simply being used as a bargaining chip. Big excitement, John Kirby. What are you doing about it? The State Department's been using some strange metrics to decide who to swap. Brittany Griner was serving 9.5-year sentence for cannabis possession. She appears to have been a DEI pick, since there was no sense to her being exchanged for a much higher value asset, arms dealer Victor Bout, who was imprisoned in the U.S. The Russians got the better end of that deal. Griner has openly expressed her dislike of the USA. Gee, thanks, Brittany. Marine veteran Trevor Reed, who was serving 9 years in Russia for assaulting a police officer, has been swapped for Russian pilot Konstantin Yaroshenko, and he was serving a 20-year sentence for cocaine trafficking. I'm recommending that the failed Biden state and the authorities begin arresting everyone from Russia who they've got running around here, whether they're mock diplomats or so-called journalists who are probably over here spying on us, and make sure that we have quite a stable of folks to swap. This is easy, folks. It's not hard, and our State Department needs to measure up to the international standard, which unfortunately means dealing with Xi in China and Putin in Russia.